Hello, fellow aviation enthusiasts. Welcome to my latest update. Now, this is not a little bit of a unique update, but it's not to update the actual aircraft or the actual airport, but it's going to be a GSC update because I just got a new shipment of all new different types of GSC from Tiny Airport, who makes all my GSC currently, and some new things that we didn't have on the airport to this point. So I did get a bunch of new baggage loaders and a bunch of new tow tugs. And they all came out really decent with details been added to them. Alright. But I got some brand new stuff. So let's clean if the brand new stuff has not been made before. So first off, we got pillar stands for my jetways for the 800s and 900s. They just kind of pivot, push in with your finger, or don't easily attach to the gate, but not in this scale. Alright, so that's pretty neat. Alright, we've been making a long time to get these pillar stands made up. So there's one on the 737-800, and I got one down here on my Delta 737-900. That's the first thing. Second is I got new dual cone safety cones. If this thing will focus, there we go. You can see those little piece of wire rings what they put on the engines compared to the own single style here that I have set around the jetway. Huh? Alright. And I got the new ones now. So that's a neat little detail, but they're a little taller, I think, than they should be. They do the job still pretty neat. Alright. Next thing is the jetways. So these are, I would kind of say these like revolutionary, but they look pretty similar when you first glance them to the original style what I had. But here's the difference. System number one, the bases, I have a lot more detail. You can see the base that connects to the ground there, but another look at this one. Here's another on the old style, but the new style has a lot more detail. So that's one change. Second change is now where the lift has a tilt joint that's no longer gonna wear out. So the jetway will pivot up and down very easily because there's an actual rail pin built into them. Whereas the old style is just a plastic tilt joint where you can't tilt up the height, which works pretty well. You can see like on this one, I have to tilt them down and it will wear odd time. So that's pretty neat for the actual hinge to hinge over out. And the last change, you can see the little logo holder on this one, but there's a space for it. So we're gonna start transitioning to a magnetic logo holder. Last compared to the old style, what we had here of paper. So this old style logo here, but I'm gonna show you the fabric details number one. But that's just a piece of paper I print a logo on. And knowing when it gets in there, against the paper, against the frame. So the hard part is that you have to cut these things out to the exact size, to the original style here. And if you don't cut them down enough, to be very hard against, like the paper needs to be in there to keep it in its place. And again, if you want to cut more of them out, yeah, like it's not. And I use them and they work just fine. But we're waiting out to the magnetics ones where you kind of like slap them on, take them off, as we should be a lot more easier now once we get the magnetic logos cut out and printed up. So that's kind of neat. And was even kind of, and some new stuff. Alright, so these are some new jetway gates. Now, the design compared to the old style is not that different, but I'm sure there's lights in the bridge. I'm sure there's extra details in the back as well, but the wall are a little bit different than the longer gate. That's all updated. And the last blinds with the cab and the black and the gray on here. So that's kind of neat. And what's even kind of neater, this is brand new. We got a jetway extension. So you can see the one that's tilted and the one that's already turned. And they move up and down. So that's going to be fun to do with some winter scenes. Really neat. And then lastly, to you all is, all right. And lastly on to y'all is my Sun Country 737. Got some cargo pods. So these are usually unfinished, but I have to get some sandpaper where I can match the paint on the model. You can see if I turn it sideways, and if it's flashing on me, there we go. So, and on my Sun Country, we got some cargo pods. So these are usually unfinished. I have to use some sandpaper and polish them down and paint them where they can match the paint on the Airbus. And so once I was growing up, they first made this aircraft when I first got it. And all right. And there you go. That's all my new GSE from the quickest update. And thank you for making up new channels and posting it on Facebook. And thank you for making it on YouTube. But I do got to go to class right now.
You do have to.
I do have to go to class right now because I need to get my work done, and then I'm going to the gym at 3:30. But now this project looks so nice. And on Concourse B with my Southwest 737s, and the Jetways are all out there. But now, thanks for watching. See you later on the next one. Goodbye.